People will treat you according to how they are capable, according to the capacity that they can. It does not have anything to do with you or what you do. That's something that I had to wrap my mind around. I had this hard time, dealing with the fact that, so I'm just deserving of love and I'm just deserving of good treatment just because of who I am. Like, I don't have to do anything and this person can come into my life and just treat me well. And the reason why it's hard for you to wrap your head around that is because you may have not ever received love in that fashion. You may not ever receive love just because of who you are. You may receive love because of what you can do.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?
What up, girlfriends? It's your girl, mindset and intuitive coach, Kendall D, back with the Hey Girlfriend podcast. So today, y'all, I want to give you a little hope and insight into what a healthy relationship is going to look like. I basically want to let you in on some healing truths that I learned from being in a healthy relationship with a man. And this can apply to, whoever you date. It doesn't have to be a man. If it's a woman, whoever it is, love is love. But I'm using man today because it's relating back to me and my healing truths. And if you are a woman dating a man or have dated men and you're looking for love with a man, you definitely would get where I'm coming from with this. Because I had this idea about men that they were all unemotional, that they were all like nonchalant, that you had to earn love from all of them, that they all were damaged in some way. I just had that mindset about men. And I think, I feel like I know that it came from my dad. He basically introduced me to how men were, or how men are. So that's the first man that you meet. And so meeting, my dad being my dad, and me seeing how he acted with my mom and how he just acted in general and how I picked up and the things he used to talk about to me about relationships and love, it led me to believe that all men are out here basically making women prove themselves to them. And he said it in so many ways to me, like, I'm trying to just think of some of the things he would do and say. So I guess to give you like a little insight into where that thought process comes from, to where you think men are all like that, because I thought men were all one way. And so when you think men are all one way, you tend to date the same type of man because you think that's all there's out there. Like, you think that it's normal. Like, yep, I've seen this before. I got to make you love me. You don't know how to do it on your own because, you're a man. You're not really in tune with your emotions. I got to prove myself to you, so to make you appreciate me, to make you want to change for me and to turn you into a good man. I got to turn you into a good man. That's kind of the idea I had. So you can have not had the same ideas about men, but I'm still going to share these healing truths that I've learned from being in a relationship with a healthy man, basically a healthy relationship. So the first thing that I've realized that was really big to me was that the right man can love and accept you in ways that your own family or caregivers couldn't. And what I mean by that is that I've learned that a lot of the people, there are different people out there than my caregivers. There are people different out there that are able to love me in ways that they couldn't. And the people that can love me, the people that I can trust, the people that, are able to love me back and be reciprocal, are a lot different than my caregivers, my parents. So what I mean by that is people that you're going to find in the world later on, once you start realizing that not everyone is like the people you grew up around and that there are other people out there, you start to realize that there's like a whole different group of people out there that are able to actually love you. And that's what I realized with my man. It's like I didn't have a whole lot of emotional support growing up. I didn't have a whole lot of love growing up. Not love in a sense of that a child would need. I was mostly met with, you know, just non-affirming talk and criticism, a lot of that. It was never really a lot of just hugs and I love yous. And so I had this idea that that's how love was and that's how people were. That a lot of people were going to be incapable, that men were going to be incapable of just doing that. And that I had to maybe some kind of way get them to that level and pull that love out of them, like, and earn my love. Like I had to earn it then. And so until I started really healing from my past relationships where I was doing love like that, and I started setting my standards for what I do want. I've never really had what I want, like the healthy relationship, but I started setting standards for how I wanted to be treated. And then now being in this healthy relationship, I'm realizing that he is there for me emotionally in ways that I never had anyone be there for me in my upbringing. And it was like a healing moment for me and a healing space for me because I was like, it was a corrective emotional experience for me. And it showed me that not everyone out there in the world are like my caregivers. Like there are other people out there that are healthy and able to love you in ways that you should have always been loved, you know? And so that kind of hit me. It's like, damn, like he has really been there for me and loving me in ways that I have never been and loved me the correct way. And so I want you to know that even if you have not had that healthy love that you're really looking for, it's out there. And the people that are able to love you in the way that you want and need to be, they may be a lot different than the people you grew up around or your caregivers you had. They're going to have they're going to have different characteristics about them. They're going to present themselves differently. And I want you to know that there's just a lot of different people out there that are better for you than what you've had and that can love you. I'm telling you. And so the next one is that I've realized that a man taking care of home and you is the real protection. So I used to have this belief that any guy I met had to be like a little quote unquote rough around the edges or even a little, you know, hood maybe, quote unquote, whatever hood means to you. I had this idea that I wanted a man like that and that's how I was going to be protected. But as I got older and I started dating a different type of man, instead of looking for the man that was always rough around the edges, because that man that was rough around the edges always did me wrong, was never really ready for love, never really emotionally available. You know, he wasn't going to protect a damn thing but my physical body. He wasn't able to protect my heart, my mind, and my soul. And so I had to realize that protection looks a lot different when it's healthy. And I feel protected in ways like around, like I feel secure in our connection, in our home. That's safe for me. That's the type of protection that I realize you can get, and that's the most necessary. Like, you want a good man to protect your heart, mind, and soul, and not just protect your physical body. Someone that just has you no matter what, has your back, your front, your side to side. That's the real protection, the protection of your heart. Like, I had to realize that I want someone that makes me feel good emotionally, mentally. Not someone that just makes me feel good physically if it's sexual. Not someone that's just pleasing to the eyes and looks good physically. Not someone that, you know, is a little rough, so he knows how to go out and shoot up if he got to shoot up or fight for me and all of that. That's cute and all. I'm not saying to get a man that can't do that for you, but that's not real protection. That's not real love. So being in this healthy space made me realize that what really matters is having protection of your mind, your heart, and just having that good feeling. That's the real protection. Something else I realized being in a healthy relationship that showed me just that the one for you, the healthy man for you, is just going to be so different, is that a good man is going to be good because of the standards he has set for himself. He's not going to be good just because you have forced him to be good, because you want him to change for you. No. What's best is that someone comes already changed, already being what you need them to be. Someone you don't got to force to change for you, force to love you. I think sometimes we get caught up in that, wanting them to change for us because we find that that's what's going to make us feel loved. That's what, if we earn it, we feel like we have to earn it. If you don't feel like you have any worth or anything good to love about you, if you don't know what there is to love about you, you're going to feel like that, okay, I just have to earn my love. I don't deserve love to just be given to me, because why has somebody left me if I haven't done anything for them? And so when you have that mindset that I have to earn it, what you end up doing is that you find men that need changing and you're trying to change them for you. Instead of finding someone that can already just love you, come in there pouring your love into you, ready to love you, ready to commit, ready to be emotionally available, ready to just be for real with you, And you realize that a man's character never changes according to which woman he's dating. A lot of women sometimes feel like that it's the woman that changes the man, that makes them act right or whatnot. Or you think he's going to change for the next one or whatnot. And that's just not how it goes. How I see it. A good man is just a good man on his own. And he's going to treat every person, every woman he meets good. Even the ones that he don't really see a connection with. He's not going to string them along. He's just going to say, you know what? This is not what I want. And either reject them, but they're not going to stick around using them, just because they know that she likes him so much. Like, a good man is just going to be a good man and has always been a good man. And that's something I had to realize, because with my husband now, I've listened to some of his old stories about the people he dated and whatnot. He was always a good man. And he had never cheated on any of them. He had never done anything wrong to any of them. He had never mistreated them. He never dogged a woman out. He's just, if anything, he's had his heart broken from a woman. And that being said, it's because, if you're being genuine and being yourself and you're actually being for real, sometimes people can portray that and hurt that because they're not ready for it. And so I feel like whoever, they just weren't ready for him, just like my exes weren't ready for me. But he was always still a good man. And so that's something I want you to realize when dating for a healthy partner, y'all. Girlfriends, a man is always going to be good just because he's a good man for himself. You can influence it, but you are not the one that's going to change him into a good man, You are not the one that's going to, earn your place in his heart and suddenly he's just a changed and different man. That's not how that goes. You don't want a man to change for you. I promise you, you don't. Because he can easily change back because he didn't do it for himself. So the goal is, instead of dating men that you feel like need changing, date one that doesn't need changing, that comes already changed. That's what I learned with that. Something else that I learned from was some healing truths I learned from being in a healthy relationship with a man is that Not that I can be soft and feminine. And it's not that I wasn't soft or feminine before. It's just that whenever I would get into like relationships, and some relationships, I felt like while I was trying to be soft and feminine and loving, it was getting abused and taken advantage of. And it would cause me to come out of my femininity and go into my masculinity because I'm fighting with them to treat me right. You know, chasing after them, crying, begging and pleading after them, going off on them, even fighting with them. I found myself doing that a lot. I was trying to be soft and feminine. And after some time, it was hard for me to be that way because I felt like I would just get mistreated. And so then they would look at me like I'm the bad guy because I'm no longer soft and feminine to them anymore. And so something I've realized is that you can be that way all the time without the fear that you're just going to be betrayed. You can actually be soft and feminine in a healthy space with a healthy man. You can. And it's like, it's going to come naturally because you feel safe. You feel secure. You're securely attached. You don't feel like you're still fighting for your place. You don't feel like, that they're going to abandon you, because they're consistent. And so when you have that safety in that, and not only that, you can also go to them about any problem. They're emotionally available for you. You can cry on their shoulder. You can bring up anything that they did that hurt your feelings, or you can talk about your feelings, you can cry, all of that. It's like you are now thriving and no longer trying to survive and fight for your place or fight for them to act right. You can be soft, calm, and feminine as long as you're in a healthy space with a man that can hold space for you. And it's like, yeah, it just feels good because it's like, I no longer have this fear of being that way. Like, I used to put like a cap on it because I'm like, I don't want to be too loving and too soft because I know he's probably cheating on me. He's going to hurt me. Whatever reason. And I felt like I was playing maybe tit for tat games, or playing, games where we don't talk for a week and then come back around to the same thing. And I'm trying to be hard and I can't be soft and feminine. It's like none of that. You don't have to go through any of that. And you can be in a space where you feel secure that your love, softness, femininity, all your goodness is not going to waste because someone is able to actually love you back. Someone is actually doing it on their own. So you can remain in your femininity. And it just feels good. It's just, don't be in a relationship if you feel like you have to come out of that softness or come out of that femininity too often. Don't lose yourself like that. Another thing I realized is that they feel the most masculine when they are taking care of their woman, when they are taking care of their home, when they are providing. I don't care what anyone says. It's not gold digging. It's not using a man. It's just realizing that they look at loving their woman differently than some of these other men do. Some of these other men look at women as being just of service to them, of just being there to be the quote-unquote wife and mother and taking care of the house and doing that. Like she's just of service. No. I feel like I know now that a man is in his element when he is able to provide and do something for me. When he's able to keep a home afloat. When he's able to financially provide. When he's able to just care for me. And it's not saying that, oh, I'm not doing anything. Because I care for him too. And I do my part too. And I make sure that it's a team. But it's like, I'm telling you. Quit thinking that you have to settle for a man that isn't like this. Or that you have to, settle in any type of way, form, or fashion to get that. There are men that don't give a damn about how little or much money you make. As long as you have a goal, a dream, you're doing something. And not just doing nothing with yourself. I'm telling you, that's not the main thing that they're going to be focused on, because they want to be the one to provide that. So I had to get out of my mindset that I have to overextend myself. I was always used to overextending myself. Now it's just like we meet in the middle. And he makes sure he provides for me and keeps me happy. Like, he truly believes that, well, he truly feels that when I'm happy, he's happy. He can relax. He's done his job. He got a happy wife. She's taken care of. She is provided for. We have a roof over our heads. She's happy. I'm happy. And I used to fight with that. Like, but no, I want you to be happy too. And he had to sit me down and literally explain to me, I can relax and be happy when I just know that you are. So I'm telling you, y'all, that man that's acting like he don't give a damn about your feelings, that keeps hurting your feelings, that keeps mistreating you, keeps cheating on you, keeps fighting with you, keeps bringing you down, acting like you're not a good woman or treating you horribly. You don't have to settle for that. You do not. You do not. You do not have to sit there and wait for that man to change for you or force him to change or because you see his potential. There are men that come already ready to just love you and care for you because that's what they want to do. I'm telling you. You don't have to settle. I learned that being in this space. Like, yeah, there are men that just want to see me happy. Like, seeing me happy makes them happy. Yeah. And I love it. Something else I realized is that it's a real partnership. Meaning, just kind of like what I said before. It's a real partnership because it's like, it's just someone that really has your back. Like I said earlier, someone that has your back, front, side to side. It's just, it's not about them trying to force service roles upon you or whatever. It's, okay, I see you can't do this. Okay, I got you. Or vice versa. If I see he's struggling with something, I got you. It's whatever we got to do to make sure we're both happy in the connection. It's a partnership. It's not like a one-sided relationship where one person is trying to, pull the love out of someone. Or one person is giving all the love and it's not reciprocated. It's just two people really right here in the middle. No one's trying to pull love out of the other. It's just right there in the middle. It's a partnership. And it just works like that. It keeps getting stronger and stronger because you're working together, not against each other. I can't reiterate that enough. You're working together as a partnership, not against each other. That means through any argument, through any disagreement, it's not you two fighting each other. It's you two and the problem. It's you working it out as a partnership. Like, what can we do? This is this problem in our relationship or in our marriage or whatever, and it's you two. And you're like, what can we do to solve this problem? And it's you two come together in a partnership. Even in that, it's a real partnership. You don't have to stand there and tolerate a man trying to blame it all on you, saying it's all your fault. No, you don't have to deal with that. And I had to learn to realize that. Being in this healthy space, like I said, it helped me realize that. Something else I realized is that you're never considered clingy. You're never considered too much to a man that actually wants to be a good man to you. You're never looked at as you're begging too much or you're wanting too much or you're being clingy. It's none of that. You're only clinging to someone that doesn't really want to be close to you and connection with you. And so anyone that is close with you, you actually find yourself not having to beg for any of that, but you can ask for it, and they're not going to say, oh, you always want something. They're not going to make you feel like that. They're going to realize, okay, I love you. I don't want you to feel this way. Let's move in closer. What we got to do, we need more cuddle time. You're never seen as a problem when you bring up a problem. You're never seen as an issue, no matter what it is. And it's like, that was so real to me. I'm like, it took me a while to realize that, okay, so I can really come to you about anything that's going on or anything that I need. If I need more time or if I feel like we haven't spent enough time together, I can tell you, and you actually do it and not get mad at me and look at me as like I'm a problem or too clingy. It's never been that. They're never going to make you feel that way. You have plenty of men out there that are not going to make you feel that way. They should not. You don't have to settle for that. There are men that are actually going to want you to tell them what you need. They're going to want to know what can they do to make your life easier and better. Okay, you need a little more time for me? Got you. I want to tell a quick story here. I remember in the beginning of my relationship with my husband, when we were dating, and I seen some old text messages, and they were basically me telling him that I just feel, I don't remember how I said I feel. I said, I just feel like I don't get enough time with you. I've really missed you. I don't know if you've been too tired or what, but I feel like I haven't seen you enough and I want to see you more and stuff. And not one of the messages said, oh, you always wanted something. He was more so concerned with, okay, she's upset. I don't like her upset. We got to do something to change this. And what I used to love that he would do to help me with that, I remember he surprised me and came over my house and spent the night. I was at home not expecting him. He was like, okay, I'm going to change that. And you'll see more of me. Or he said something like that. And I was like, okay. So he didn't say he was coming that night, but I think he came, I think it was that same night. Yeah, it was. He knocked on my door, surprised me, and I think we had takeout, got some Redbox movies. I think back then when we were dating, they were still doing the Redbox movies. So I think he had movies or something like that. And he spent the night, had to spend the night bag. It was the middle of the week. He usually never spent the night in the middle of the week, but he did. And he started doing that more, spending the night in the middle of the week and just going to work from my apartment. Stuff like that. That made me realize, like there's someone that actually will love you and wants to make sure you're happy and it's going to change that. You're not too clingy. So this has been a very healing space for me to realize that. And I'm sharing it with you all because I want you to realize that you can have that same healing space too. Like, I used to really think that there was just only one type of men out there and that there were none of them out there like this. But this has been such a healing space for me. I just want to share it with y'all to give you a little hope and realize you don't got to settle for half-ass of what you want. You do not. And so, yeah, basically, with a man that cares about you, just say the word what you want. They got you. They're not going to gaslight you. The last thing I want to mention is you do not have to prove why you deserve to be treated well by him. You do not have to endure mixed signals of any kinds or guessing games or none of that half-ass and shit. He is just basically going to be all in from the beginning. You don't have to prove why you deserve his good treatment. And I want you to get out of that mindset of feeling like that's something you have to do, that you don't deserve good love and good treatment just because of who you are and that you have to some kind of way earn that. I want you to get out that mindset that you have to earn that. You are deserving of that just because of who you are. Just because of the person you are. You may have not ever gotten love that way, or you may have always felt like you had to work for it or earn it, or that's what makes you feel undeserving of it. But you are deserving of being treated right from the start. You don't have to settle in spaces or relationships like that to where you're having to prove yourself to make this person want to stay with you, treat you right, and act right. When a good man wants you, he is going to get you. And something you have to realize is that people will treat you according to how they are capable, according to the capacity that they can. It does not have anything to do with you or what you do. That's something that I had to wrap my mind around. Because as someone that used to believe that love must be earned, or that I had this hard time, dealing with the fact that, so I'm just deserving of love and I'm just deserving of good treatment just because of who I am. Like, I don't have to do anything and this person can come into my life and just treat me well. And the reason why it's hard for you to wrap your head around that is because you may have not ever received love in that fashion. You may not ever receive love just because of who you are. You may receive love because of what you can do. And so I had to get out that mindset and realize that I can be loved solely for who I am because someone is capable and wanting and able to do that. That's the thing. Some of these men are not able or capable to do that because of their own traumas and their own shit they got going on. It has nothing to do with you. So once you elevate and grow, you'll realize that you're really above that. And it's not that you're better than that. You're above that because you don't have to settle to make someone love you. And you don't have to settle for someone that's not quite ready for you, you know? So that's something that I realized. And that just changed everything for me. I realized that I don't have to prove why I need to be loved. That I can just be loved for solely who I am. And that kind of reiterates back to what I said at the beginning of how healthy people can love you in ways that your own parents or caregivers or whoever you grew up around couldn't. And it's just that there are people out there that don't have them same traumas, or they've worked on those traumas and they've healed, and they have a better capacity, more capacity to love you in ways that maybe your caregivers couldn't because of their own shit they had going on that they haven't healed from, or whatever they had going on. It wasn't because of you. You have to get out your head that you never got the love that you deserve, that it was because of the people you were around. It wasn't because you were unlovable, unworthy. So that's all I got for this podcast episodes. My battery is about to die. So that was all I had, but I'm trying to wrap it up now. At the end, you know where to find my books on appbeenthatgirl.net. I have one-on-one mindset and tools to coaching, appbeenthatgirl.net. I have several different options, well, more than several. I have a lot of different options, different price points to help you out. Bonus podcast episodes, always on my Patreon, which you can find that link at appbeenthatgirl.net. I have hundreds and hundreds of episodes on there. So until the next podcast episode, girlfriends, peace out.